My name is Ihtisham Shakur. I'm a cardiologist, and with me today is we have a privilege of having a good friend and a very, very fine neurologist from Arizona, Dr. Habib. Dr. Habib, welcome to our show today.
Thank you for having me here.
I have a few questions for you today. We will talk about stroke today. What do you mean by a stroke?
I'll just try to make it simple so that your audiences can understand it better. When we talk about a stroke, we are talking about a permanent damage to a certain number of cells, which is not reversible. So basically, we are talking about a mismatch of the demand of oxygen in the brain and its supply, which is in the form of the blood. So that will be the main cause of the stroke, that your brain is not getting enough oxygen to function, and the lack of demand of oxygen resulting in a permanent damage to a small portion or a big portion of the brain, depending upon the amount of the occlusion or amount of the blockage of the artery which is involved.
So, I've heard that there are different types of strokes. What are the types of strokes?
Yeah. Basically, we can say there are major two types of strokes. One is the ischemic stroke, where there is a lack of the blood supply to the brain, which results in a form of the occlusion of or the blockage of the arteries, as I mentioned. The second type of the stroke is a hemorrhagic stroke, because there is a intracranial bleed or hemorrhage in the brain, causing two problems. Number one, it is pressing the brain itself and causing a neurological deficit or paralysis, or depending upon the area is involved. And second thing is because of the leakage of the blood, the arteries, they get vasoconstriction, means they shrink, the ends they shrink, and on top of the blood, it also causes the ischemia or the stroke, which is again lack of oxygen supply.
तो अच्छा अभी इस तरह मैं सर नहीं जो मैं सर क्वेश्चन पूछूं ना सर उसका सर टाइप्स ऑफ स्ट्रोक आपको कहना है कि देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ स्ट्रोक ब्लीडिंग एंड इस्कीमिक तो मैं फिर मैं आपसे अगला पूछूंगा कि फिर आप छोटे छोटे आंसर छोटे तो so for a layman like me, how can we recognize that somebody or a loved one is having a stroke?
It's very simple. There is an acronym. We say FAST. Of course not, we also have to act fast, but it is FAST, F-A-S-T. F is for the face. So if it's a drooping of the face, and it's obvious weakness. So main thing is the face drooping, weakness of the arm, if not able to lift the arms up, problem with speech, the slurring of the speech or bringing out the word, okay? And the important thing is time. So as soon as you see F, drooping of the face, weakness of the arm, problem with the speech, the time is this, the immediate call in the EMS or 911. So that's the acronym that fits for every type of stroke.
I've heard that their time is of essence, and as soon as there is even a doubt of somebody having a stroke, they should rush to the. What is the importance of time?
The importance of time is that it can improve the outcome. Because if a stroke is recognized and it can be timed from the onset. So first 3-hour window is very, very important, because during this time period, if a patient can be taken to the emergency room or the hospital, So, and there's a stroke, the team available. They can right away take the patient and they can start with the process quickly, provided that it is a ischemic stroke, which is the lack of the blood supply due to the blockage of any artery. They can do a special anticoagulation therapy, which is called TPA, and that has, if it is done properly, it has a very a great results and outcome, and it can result in improvement in the disability.
So if somebody takes some loved one to the hospital, they have means to determine whether this stroke is, like you said, ischemic or hemorrhagic?
Yeah.
And the treatment depends on that?
Treatment depends on that, because I think almost all the ERs, now are equipped with the CT scan, which is the best tool. They right away do the CT scan, and in patients which are in centers, which are the stroke centers or they are tertiary centers, they also do the 3D angiogram right away.
So, if somebody is having hemorrhagic stroke, how the treatment differs from the ischemic stroke?
The hemorrhagic stroke is different from the ischemic stroke because that the patient with the hemorrhagic stroke is not qualified for that the treatment, because one of the potential side effect of the treatment is that you can have a bleed.
How long does it usually requires the time-wise in recovery?
It depends. At the onset, all the strokes appear to be same. But if the stroke that resolves within 24 hours of onset, then we call the mini stroke in the layman terminology, and in neurological terminology we call it a TIA, or a transient ischemic stroke. So the precaution, the follow-up remains the same, whether it's a reversible stroke or it's established stroke. But established stroke that comes with a residual deficit and that lasts more than 24 hours, depending upon that what is the size of the stroke that counts.
So, any last question? How can we prevent a stroke? What is your advice to people who are listening?
The top three risk factors: diabetes, hypertension, which is the blood pressure problem, and the high cholesterol. And then on top of those three, cigarette smoking and the lifestyle. The sedentary lifestyle that also promote it is considered as a risk factor for the stroke. Those are the top five, but again, there are the other ones too.
So, if I recall from my own specialty, these are the same risk factors which are bad for the heart as well. So, if we prevent all these five risk factors, you can prevent the stroke as well as a heart attack.
Definitely.
Thank you, Dr. Habib. A pleasure to have you here in our studio.
Thank you very much.